Can I go on a rant just for one
Please.
minute? Okay.
This is a rant
let's
zone.
go ahead.
Okay, so here's what makes me crazy about people who are disappointed in their sales development reps. They don't train them, and I don't mean training on what to say, when to say it, the
Standard,
whatever.
yeah.
How about presentation skills?
Oh, yes. I love it.
How about learning how to speak in a way that works for you, that you recognize what your pitfalls are? Like,
Yeah.
I listened to something I did the other day, and I say, I think, at the beginning of every sentence. Well, obviously, it's coming out of your mouth. It's what you think.
Right. Yeah.
So I have to train myself not to do that anymore. But just like presentation skills, that a conversation is a presentation.
Totally. Yep.
So I think people need to start investing in more than just tools, tech, tips, tricks, hacks.
Yeah, this is what we, like internally, I feel like we spend a lot of our time, the real training that we do every day is on things that I wish I would have learned in school or at some point, but they're basic things like how do you frame a story? What is a story? Dave talks about this a lot. Here are the elements of a story. These are the 3 things you need to have in a story. Every presentation is a story, right? Every pitch is a story. Every time you communicate with a group, it's a storytelling activity. And the basics of storytelling, whether it's in a movie or face-to-face or whatever, they're the same, right? Whether it's like you can go back to as far back as you want. You could go to the Bible, you can go to whatever. It's always the same thing. So how do you teach? How do you do that? Like, I didn't know one taught me how to do that. How do I had to learn, and that's what we try to teach internally. How do you teach presentation skills? How do you teach how to reach out to someone and give before you ask to get something from them, right? Like, how do you teach these basic things that I wish, the world would have taught us? How do you recognize, like, how they're different from you, and then how do you communicate to someone who's different than you are, right? All of those basic skills.
How do they want to communicate?
Yes.
Totally.
Like, sales reps should be saying at the end of every initial conversation, what's your preferred method of communication?
Yeah.
Totally.
Do you want an email? Do you want me to call you? What
I
do you
have
want?
one client who only texts me.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Gone with the Wind size text. It's the only way he wants to communicate. Hey, whatever works.
Whatever
right?
they want.
Whatever works.
But also,
like
looking
ask.
internally. So you mentioned, you joke when you walked in, you're like, I see you everywhere with videos, right?
Yeah.
LinkedIn. And the question, we talked about this the other day. I get a lot of questions from people that are like, hey, I want to do that too, but I just don't like being on camera. And I'm like, don't do it just because I do it. You have to find your thing. Yeah. And I think it's easy to get caught up. Just like marketers, we love getting caught in like the best practices. Oh, the best thing you should do in an email is blank. Yeah. Where like, same thing in sales. What is your thing? I've been at companies where there's 5 varieties of different type of sales reps. One of them is all facts and knows the product cold and gives a wow demo. Yep. The other one is like all sizzle and tells a great story and doesn't really know the product that well, but they all work, and everybody has these kind of different flavors.
It's bringing the human back into sales is what's going to make you successful. Your personality, your style, whatever it is. You don't have to be like the guy sitting next to you. Yeah. You don't have to be Hyper Harry, or you don't have to be Chatty Susie. You can be you. If you want to be Technical Teddy, use it to your advantage.
I think we all love when being on the other end of getting sold to, we all love when a salesperson is real and honest. Like the example I use a lot when we give talks is like when you go to a restaurant. My wife and I were out for her birthday a couple months ago at a restaurant. We ordered a bunch of stuff. The waiter comes up to us and he goes, you guys aren't going to like that thing. He goes, trust me, get this one. Instantly won us over on the spot, because like this guy's incentivized to get us to buy his stuff at the restaurant, but he's telling us, don't get that, get that. That like credibility, that earns you so much points from a credibility standpoint in that conversation.
Yeah, and that's a place you probably want to go back to.
We want to go back because it's an amazing experience, right? Same experience this weekend. I bought a new car this weekend. We go in, we're in there for 4 hours. This guy's telling me, we try to upsell you on this, but you don't actually need that. Just get this thing.
You spent 4 hours buying a car?
Trish.